personally, I've been in like a situation of domestic violence, and it's not something I would want to bring a child into. You say you're against abortion.
I'm against abortion, yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I believe abortion is the termination of an innocent human life, and I believe everyone has a right to life.
And what if this woman who is pregnant gets raped? Is that still not her right to have an abortion?
So let me ask you the question, before we talk about it, like I believe it's an important thing. We're talking about like 1% of all abortions. So like apart from rape, would you be okay with making it illegal to carry out abortion for the other 99%?
I think abortion should be legal no matter what, because it's the woman who's carrying the child, and technically the child, it can't like think anything for itself until it's out of the womb, so it's not.
You said you were against abortion just then.
Wait, no, did I?
Yeah.
No, I meant I was for abortion.
You're for
I
abortion.
said you were against it.
Yeah, I'm against abortion, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to rephrase
Yeah.
why you're for abortion.
I'm all for abortion because, it's just a woman's choice to do what she wants with her body. Of course, she can talk to whoever, like her partner or whatever, about it, but ultimately it is, like, mostly the woman's choice. And of course, on the topic of, like, rape and stuff, that's also very tragic, so.
Yeah. But do you believe everyone has a right to human life? Like, every human has a right to life?
Well, yeah, but the thing is, it's a fetus. It's not, like, born yet, so it's not living.
Well, it is alive because it wouldn't be able to grow in the womb if it wasn't alive. If it died, it would stop growing.
Yeah. What I mean is it doesn't have proper sentience yet, so it's, yeah.
Why does it need sentience to be alive or human?
Well, it really just comes down to, like, my personal ethics. It's, to me personally, it's just not a human. Well, it is a human, but it's not fully formed until it's born, so.
Yeah, well, yeah, I agree with you. It's not fully formed, but I'm not fully formed either. I'm still growing. Like, I'm only 22 years old. My brain won't finish developing until I'm 25. Would that be a reason to, I don't know, put my head on the chopping block, for lack of a better word, for it?
Nah, it's a completely different thing. Like, when it's out of the woman's body, it's a totally different thing. That's just murder. But beforehand, that's what I consider, like, the appropriate time.
So what is it any different if it's like, say, in the womb 1 minute and then out the womb and just been born the next minute? What's the difference?
Well, now it can think and properly, like, speak, and, well, not, babies can't speak, right? Yeah, no, they can't. I don't know why I asked that. I knew that they can't speak, but, like, it's just the baby can now think and feel emotion, unlike when it was in the womb.
Did you know children can feel pain even in the womb?
I knew that, yeah, but, like, they can voice that concern.
My question is, where do you think the value of human life comes from?
Living, I don't know, just, like, being.
Sure, okay, so my point is, the value of human life isn't defined by external factors, whether you can remember cognitively or whether you can feel or have experience, or even like circumstances like financial hardship, domestic violence. I don't think that's an excuse for abortion, so to speak. I think it's the value of human life is valuable in itself. I don't think it's up for anyone, whether it's an individual or a state, to deprive anyone of their right to life, and that's applied to everyone.
Can I just specifically ask about a certain thing that you just said? You said something about, like violence. Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Yeah, so, like, a lot of people have told me that what if a child is going to be brought into a terrible home, an unloving family, and they try to say that as an excuse for abortion, that the child is better to be dead than rather than to suffer. But I think in spite of suffering, life is still valuable, it's still worth living, it's still a gift. Do you have any objections to that?
Well, not exactly. It's kind of an objection. It's sort of like, if you can prevent someone from being put into something, do that, like have the abortion. If it's also, sometimes having a child within domestic violence can be harmful to, like, the parent themselves, because, like, the child, the partner could now be blaming the person who had the child and being like, oh, this is all your fault, and then the domestic violence gets worse. And yeah, it's just not a good situation. Personally, I've been in like a situation of domestic violence, and it's not something I would want to bring a child into.
No, I don't want to be. Me neither. I don't want to bring anyone into domestic violence. I grew up with domestic violence myself. That being said, I think abortion deflects the real issue that domestic violence should be addressed, and abortion is a poor solution because, if we can address domestic violence, then that child doesn't have to live in a dysfunctional household. You can actually have a sustainable and healthy childhood.
That is a very good point, but when you can't get rid of the domestic violence because it's such a big issue in the world, it's something that can never be like gone forever. You really just have to pick the safest option for you, and if that's having the child, it's having the child. If it's not, get the abortion. I don't really, I'd say, care if someone is for or against. I was just here because I was like, why not? But I personally am for abortion, so it's like, yeah.
I guess my problem is that's what you think subjectively, but if that's what you think subjectively, why should anyone else agree? Because it's what you say, I say something else. I'm trying to find something that's not subjective, it's actually true, objective. And I think even though domestic violence is a huge issue, it's not a reason for abortion, and that even if a child was to be brought up in domestic violence, life is still worth living. My life is still worth living, and I was raised with domestic violence. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, you are I can tell you're very determined. I can't be the one to change your mind.
No worries.
I'm just sort of existing.
Well, if you are more than happy to agree to disagree, I'm more than happy with that. But I just want to thank you for taking the time to have a civil conversation with me. I think it's more and more important to have these conversations. No worries. All right, thank you. Have a good day.